We got some rumors and news for you folks today, and in this video, we're going to talk about it. Kayvon Thibodeaux, he is here in Detroit meeting with the Detroit Lions. What does it mean? Some questions that we have to ask for this up-and-coming NFL draft that can set the trajectory of the Detroit Lions franchise in multiple different directions. And so we're just going to jump and get into it. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of pain, misery, and disappointment, you have come to the right channel because I talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors, and I upload 5 to 6, 7 times. If that interests you, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you could please call up the like button's house, ask them if the refrigerator is running. If they say yes, tell them to go catch it. Let's get into today's Lions news and rumors.
LeGarrette Blount here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and the YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
Malik Willis's coach talked about teams that was interested in the quarterback, and one of the teams that he did not mention was our beloved Detroit Lions. He talked about all the teams that's come to the pro day, that's made the phone calls, that's did the investigations, and the Detroit Lions was not a part of that. What does that mean? Well, it doesn't really mean a whole lot of anything. In all honesty, the Lions had an upfront, close view of Malik Willis. We were at the Senior Bowl, and they could have done their investigation there regarding this said prospect. With that said, I still don't believe the Detroit Lions take Malik Willis at 2. I do think they go in a different direction, and that's just what I think this franchise is all about. I do believe that they have some sort of confidence in Jared Goff, at least for this season, and that leaves taking a quarterback at 2 probably out of the question. Folks, right now I'm at 21,352 subscribers. Let's get to 21,400. I'm trying to climb that chat sports ladder. They are big channels. We're talking about Dallas Cowboys, Raiders, San Francisco 49ers, Miami Dolphins, the closest one to me. I'm trying to jump ahead of them. It's a competition taking place behind the scenes. Let's show these folks the One Pride Nation is legit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and let's take this channel to the next level and kill it over there in chat sports. Couple of questions that we need to ask about this up-and-coming NFL draft. Very important questions. I think there's 5 specific ones that we need to really concentrate on. First, what are the Jacksonville Jaguars going to do with that first pick? Are they going to go ahead and take Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu, or are they going to take Aidan Hutchinson? This will change everything. If they decide to go offensive line, guess what? That leaves Aidan Hutchinson to the Detroit Lions sitting at 2. But if you think, like I do in majority of analysts, that they take Aidan Hutchinson at 1, that leaves other edge rushers to be sitting there for the Detroit Lions, like Travon Walker, as well as Kayvon Thibodeaux. And if they want to go a different route, they definitely could do that. What do I think is going to occur, personally? I do think that Jacksonville takes edge rusher, take Aidan Hutchinson. Why? I feel like he's the safest pick in this year's draft, even though they should take offensive line, folks. They really should. You would think that's what they do, but we're dealing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're not dealing with other said teams. This team kind of throws wrenches into the system here, and I think that's the route they do. But if Aidan is there, you'd think they'd have to jump on it for sure. But I think they go Hutch. With that said, another question. Will the Detroit Lions be trading up, trading down, or trade players to get assets, whether it be this year or future assets in the up-and-coming draft in 2023? What do I think? This, first off, trading is exactly what I love to do. I love trade, especially trading down, acquiring more assets. 2, I would love the Detroit Lions to trade out. I think that would be fan-freaking-tastic. more assets, more chances to get players to help this team out, whether it be starters and depth-wise. It's exactly what we need. We need the help all over the field. I just don't know if that's going to happen. Honestly, my personal belief, I don't believe the Detroit Lions will be trading out of the second pick. Not because they don't want to, folks. It's because it's going to be extremely difficult. That's what I think. Also, there's another pick there. Talk about pick 32 in the first round. Can the Detroit Lions trade out of that pick? Matter of fact, I think that's the most likely situation. A team that would like to get a quarterback, whether it be a Seattle Seahawks who did not get one in the first part of the first round, or the Atlanta Falcons, or the Carolina Panthers, whatever. If they didn't decide not to go quarterback there, they could jump back up from the second and third rounds, wherever they want to go, more likely second, to pick 32, so they can have that fifth-year option on that quarterback. That makes sense. A team, 32 seems the most likely trade spot nearly in this whole draft. That and probably 33 in the second round if you're Jacksonville to get that first player. But if the Lions are to trade out, that would be the spot I think they go. What about trading players for future assets? We really don't have that many players, I feel like, that we can trade away. Trey Flowers released. Who are you going to trade away? Unless it's a player v. player before the 53-man roster, I don't see anything happening in the NFL draft to trading players away. Taylor Decker, I still think he stays here. Jared Goff ain't going anywhere. So I think they're just going to stay that route for sure. You know, you do have TJ Hawkinson, who they believe it, folks. They're going to probably extend him at some point. And Swift, who I think they stay with this team this year. So I don't think they're going to trade players away. Let me know in the comment section below right now, folks. Do you think the Detroit Lions will make a trade in the first round? It doesn't necessarily have to be at 2. Okay? Doesn't have to be that spot. They can either trade back, they can trade up. At 32, they could trade out of 32. They could trade up to get a player. Maybe a Devin Lloyd falls. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think on this? Will the Lions make a trade? 2 questions here that's really important as well. Will the Detroit Lions draft a quarterback? It doesn't have to be at 2. Doesn't have to be at 32. But we got 9 picks currently in this draft. Will the Detroit Lions draft a quarterback in one of these rounds? I would hope so. I know a lot of people don't like it, but if you're looking at a backup role, do you really want to invest your assets? And if Jared Goff goes down, rely on Tim Boyle and David Blau? I sure do not want to rely on those guys. I don't. I think it's really important for the Detroit Lions to look at everything, at all the quarterbacks, and say, does this guy, could he help us win? Whether it be in each round too, second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh. Maybe they trade out and they get a 4th round pick there. There is quarterbacks in each round you can get. Doesn't have to be the star. It doesn't have to be the heir apparent to Jared Goff. It could be the heir apparent to Tim Boyle. And I am definitely willing to give up a 5th, a 6th, or a 7th round pick to get a replacement as a backup young quarterback for Jared Goff, because if he goes down in the season, it's automatic L. We've seen it. Will they draft a quarterback? Before we get to the wide receiver part, make sure you guys go to Lions Nation Unite. Download the app. Very good app made by Herman Moore for Detroit Lions fans. Myself, Everything King, Let's Talk Lions. We're going to be hanging out with Herman Moore and the crew for the NFL Draft. We're going to be live. I'm going down to his studio. It's going to be a great time. Make sure you get on the app because a lot of stuff's going to be happening on there. You can find me at MicroMike on there as well. Add me. Let's get the 300 followers on there, and follow them on Twitter as well as their YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and talk about, will the Detroit Lions draft a wide receiver? Yes, I do believe the Detroit Lions will draft a wide receiver. When will they draft one? I don't think they're drafting one at 2. So you can go ahead and nix that one. They very well could start at 32. Depends who falls there. If a Treylon Burks falls to 32, I think that's a slam dunk type of player. I think that's someone that the Lions could take a look at. It's going to be really difficult, though, because the Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, multiple picks, and I feel like they're going to go wide receivers with one of their 2 picks that they have. A lot of good wide receivers in this year's draft. Well, what about the second round? Same thing. Basically, it's almost like the 32nd. It's literally you got one team ahead of you. They could go wide receiver right there. If Treylon Burks fell, I don't believe he'd fall that far. I think someone would take him at 33 if he fell out of the second round. Jahan Dotson, George Pickens. There's a lot of wide receivers they could look at in the second round. Ideally, I think what's really going to take place is the Detroit Lions will probably take a wide receiver in the third round. We got 2 picks there. They probably take one with one of those picks, early third pick. I think that's the route they're going to go. And you can see a wide receiver in the 6th, 7th round. Developmental guy, speed guy. He may not have all the big attributes like being size, but at least he can help you on the special teams and other facets to make the 53-man roster. So I would really start looking at, if you're disappointed they don't get one in the first and the second round, be patient. They're probably going to get one in the third round and double up. That's really important. Other positions they could definitely double up on, safety and linebacker. FYI, I got a mock draft dropping tomorrow. It's a trade mock draft, so get ready for that. A few days before the draft, I'm going to do my final mock draft. The final mock draft. And in this mock draft, it's what I think the Detroit Lions are going to do. All the off-season talk will come to an end regarding the draft. And we can just get to it because I'm ready like you are ready as well. One Pride Podcast on my channel Thursday. Bro Schmo special guest. Very good content creator. Talk about the NFL draft. I love his takes. Him, Tom Downey, and TAAG, they bring some really good content regarding prospects, and so I love to hear what they have. Make sure you guys follow me on all these social media sites, Facebook, Twitter. That's what it's all about, folks. And hit that notification bell. Subscribe. Adios.